Hello everyone, this is Lisa and I'm going to do a walkthrough of my March planner setup. This month I'm using a Foxy Fix Spice Smoke, which unfortunately is not available anymore. Pretty swag on the front, pretty bookmarks because I love playing with them and touching them. I am so excited about my planner this month. This kit, oh my word, it just is like me. Like they got in my head and made this kit just for me. The floral, the self-care vibe, the take care of yourself. I mean, I needed it this month. It just was like, wow. Anyway, in my pockets I don't like to put a whole lot in my pockets. If I do, it's usually flat things. This cute little clip came in the kit this month. Isn't it adorable? So I usually keep like a washi sampler, a couple of cards. I have this thing where I like to cut the mini dory. I cut it in half and then I like to punch it and slip it in my planner here and there through the month just for memories, or it's kind of the way I keep track of memories and such. Then you could stick them in the pocket. I made a pocket out of the vellum this month, and that's what I do. I like to stick little memories, notes, whatever, and then each month when I put them away, I have, I'm not really good at like doing layouts anymore for memory keeping, but I do like to keep all the little notes and such. So I put a rub on before I laminated it. I had to add washi to it because as life happens, because it's not perfect, my little granddaughter who's 3 came over and was really excited about my punch, and I didn't realize she changed the setting on it. So I just punched it and I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't right. So thank God for washi. Washi is good. This dashboard I made from the standard, I love this paper, and I like to buy extra dories because I love the papers. I like having the extra papers. And so this one, I loved it and I had to use it for a dashboard. So I cut it down. I added one of the extra papers on the back, put a border on it with some little rickrack I had in my stash, put a sticker on it from the Memories sticker kit, I believe, and I punched these cute little vellum butterflies to give it dimension. Can you see? I don't know if you could see, but I love it. It's I love butterflies. I love butterflies. And so this is my note section. I keep my note section in the front or the back. The things that I use the less, I keep in the front and the back. The sections I use the most, I keep in the middle. So when I open it up, it's flat. It's flatter. So this is, I like to put vellum and acetate in my planner. This was like, I don't remember, American Crafts, crepe paper, Heidi Swapp, I don't remember which one, gold foil. I love these clear dashboards from Cloth and Paper, just to kind of I like a subcategory kind of thing. This is from the printables. If you guys don't use the printables, you need to use the printables. I really got into the printables this month. They were just so gorgeous. And this was an A5 size, piece of paper planner that printed on the printables. And I just folded it in half, ran it through the laminator, cut the top off to make a pocket, punched it, and added sticky notes. It makes a great little dashboard. This one was from the Pocket Memory Kit. It has smaller cards, little pocket-sized cards, and it has a few of these 4x6 cards that are really for A6 rings, are almost perfect. I just usually add a little bit of washi to the edge to kind of compensate a little bit for the rings and such. And on the back, I put one of the personal size dashboards. I had to chop it off. And, you know, the washi, of course. So this section is my personal section. And what I did this month is I used a standard dory and I cut it down. And when you cut down the standard dory, you're gonna lose some artwork, you know, a section somewhere, whether it's the top or the bottom or, you know, however. I cut mine. What I do is I take the staples out and then I go through it and decide how I want the artwork. And you have to keep in mind, you know, both sides. Mine lined out pretty good this month, how I cut it, with the lines and the, you know, where I cut it. So what I do is when I cut whatever artwork I cut off, I save it, because you can, like with my washi card, I laminated it. This was part of the artwork that I cut off somewhere. You can laminate it and use as a washi card or a bookmark, or if there's florals, you can fussy cut them. I just don't like throwing stuff away if I can use it. And like this, the polka dotted paper, you could just use it as a layering. So many options to keep your scraps. If you're one just to throw stuff away, you know, that's fine. I'm not. I keep scraps. So what I'm doing with this section this month is this is kind of like my self-care, positive vibe kind of, I don't know what to exactly call it, but my goal is each day what I'm struggling with, like say I'm just having a down day, I want to go find a quote that is uplifting to me and help me keep my mind on, or a scripture or whatever, you know, comes to mind. I want to write it down and just record it so I can look back after the month and kind of see how I was doing. And I'll have it for a record that I can use and maybe make a little booklet later on. You know, I'm going to see how it goes. It's something new for me this month, so I'll see how it goes. This dashboard was another hack that I did. And when you get the dashboard subscription, you get A5 size and personal size. And I use A6 rings, and so you can see it's either too long and skinny or huge, you know. So I really like to think outside of the box sometimes and how I can make it work in my planner. Because if I'm not in A6 rings, I did personal wide for a while in the the B6 dory, and the A5 works a little better. But really A6 is my size. Even when I was in a TN, A6 was my size. I like it's more rectangle squared to me. So what I did here was, you know, this is so big. I didn't know how to use it. I mean, I could have chopped this off and just put it on a piece of paper, you know, and it would be fine. But I just like to think a little more. And so what I did was I cut it to use the background. And really in all, I could use the other side because these papers are great for A6. You get like 2. You can get 2 out of it. And if you need a little extra edge, you can put a little border on it. I mean, there's just so many possibilities. I could almost put this on the back, which I may do. And so there's lots of ways. I have a couple other hacks I'll show as I go with the dashboards, because a lot of people think, oh, I don't use A5 or I don't use personal. And so I am not going to sub to the dashboard sub. Well, I like it for the paper. I look at it as extra paper, not a dashboard, because there is so much you can do with extra paper. You know, you can make a card, or I mean so much. just find ways. You can even just cut the March off and really use that on another piece of paper. So many ways to use it. So I think just you have to think outside of the box. And so what I did here was, I'm going to kind of switch to this next one. This is my daily section. I don't use a daily every day, just mainly on days when I have a lot of tasks to complete and I really need to keep track of my time. You know, that's the only time I really use a daily page. So what I did, let me get my little thing here. These the little cards that come in the kit, I really love them, and they have the name on them, and I, of course, already said I love the artwork this month. And I wanted to use it. And so I was playing around, and I have this die. I don't know where I got this die. Paper Tray ink, maybe? I don't know. And I thought, you know, I really like the scallop edge. And this was the dashboards. These are the dashboards that came in the dashboard kit. And like I said, I like to hack them a little bit. And I already used the big one in the back, and I'll show you that when we get there. But I thought, man, I really want to use this, but you know, I don't need the saying twice in my planner. So what I did here was I took the die, ran it through, and of course you get the scallop, and I just stuck it on top to make like a picture frame almost. To me, that's what it looks like. And so I had the outside frame left over, and I just used it for this little layer. I added a lot of layering here. This strip was when I cut off this. You know, that's why I talk about saving your scraps, because you never know where you just need a little piece to just make it pop a little bit. And so this is my tracker section, and I put paper on the back, and this is my tracker section. I keep track of stuff for me and my husband. I always like to make a pocket in my planner just for, sometimes I put it by my meal planning for recipes and receipts. Sometimes I, like this, I just wanted to put little cards in it. And this is the paper from one of the planner kit, but it was blue on the back side of it. I don't have one here to show you. Otherwise, anyway, it clashed to me, and I didn't, once I folded it, I didn't like it. So what I did was I used the printables, and I love this floral. So I just cut it out, stuck it down in there, glued it, so it, you know, it looks like it's part of the paper. This was also part of the printables. And then I just added a border, and I usually glue this part, and then I, you know, on the side, and then I sew the pocket on. And I really just love the look of it. And so what I do is, these are from the sticker kit, the sticker planner kit, and I love the rectangles. But my problem with the rectangles is I don't like to use them because they're like one of my favorite things out of the sticker kit. And I feel like if I use them, then, you know, you're done with that week or whatever, and it's like a waste to me. Like I really just, I don't like using them like that. So what I do is I stick the stickers on a piece of vellum, and I'll show you back here. I stick them on a piece of vellum and use washi and just move it where I want it. You can use them over and over and over and don't feel like you waste them. And these make great privacy flaps. So like you're taking pictures of your planner and you have a note there and you're like, ooh, I really don't want somebody to see that. You can slap that over, take your photo, and nobody knows, you know? This is one of my favorite ideas ever. I use it all the time. So I keep a stash in my little pocket. these for me, they came in the printables. Same deal. You could use the same kind of thing. So I love my little pocket page. 3 goals that I'm working on. And these are not just for the month. These are my 3 main things that I am working on this year. I've just made up my mind. My word for the year is peace, protecting my peace. And I've really done a lot of steps to do that for my self-care, my house, my finances. And so I made a goal. I thought, I'm going to try that this month so I can look at it. And it's kind of amazing how when you look at it, it gets in your mind and you want to accomplish these goals. And on the back, I put my CocoaDaisy Planner Challenge, printed it out. 4x4 is what fits for me. And this is again the printables. I just cut it out, put a little of the washi strip from the sticker kit on there, and it's like one of my favorite pages. Oh, I just love how this planner turned out this month. So here's another hack that I wanted to show you. Like I said, when you get the dashboards, A5 personal, and you know, it's just personal, it's just too skinny for me. Like I feel like, because I'm such a, it's just not quite, and I know it's not a whole lot different, but it's amazing how just a little bit helps. So when I opened the dashboard and I saw these, I was like, oh my word, this is my favorite thing. And at first I was like crushed, because how am I going to use that in my A6? How am I going to use these? So I had to think about it for a bit. And this is what I came up with. I use the cloth and paper. I just like to use these because they're clear and I can measure really easy where I could see where it's going to be. So what I did was basically I kind of scored it a little bit so I could see, and then I cut the flowers out. And then I just chopped it off. I took the flower that I cut out and just lowered it. And yeah, I'm missing the stems, but you know what? The vase and the flower, this is the main part of it that I love. So I stuck it down. I cut out a couple extra flowers from the printables and some leaves, added these gold puffy leaves because I'm addicted to gold puffy stickers. And you get those, I think American Crafts or Crepe Paper, you know, you can get them. There's several companies that have them. And I mean, I love how it turned out. I put some stickles in the middle to give it a little shimmer. And so for the other one, what I did was I did basically the same thing. I saw where it was going to be, and I just scored it. You don't want to cut it, because if you cut it first, you're going to cut the flowers off. So I just scored it a little bit, cut the flowers out, and of course you're going to have this big hole right here. So don't cut the little thing here. Just move, after you cut your flower out, just line it up. See, I cut mine, and see, that's why you don't want to cut it, because you see the paper behind it. So then you just lower it a tad and put a little strip of paper on the side to add to it, and you have yourself another dashboard. This one I actually didn't put enough on because I was going with the paper behind it, so I'll probably redo that. But there's always, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And there's always a way to use what you get, you know. And I'm not trying to tell you, go get the dashboard kit, but you really have to think sometimes. And I just like to do that. I like to think, oh, you know, I really like this. How can I use it? How can I use it? You know, like this one is so big. And I use the smaller one back here that I showed you earlier, but really I could cut it and use this as a dashboard. even though, you know, it may not sit right. But I'm not real picky about stuff like that. So if, you know, if you are, I'm just not. I don't mind doing things like that. So this is my monthly section. And my monthly section, basically, I have my monthly calendar, which I'm in love with. I actually did 2 this month. The first one I did, I used stickers and all the colors, and I really liked it, but it was also kind of busy for me. I didn't want it too busy because then I won't look at it, because I really actually am a person that likes a lot of white space. My whole house is like really very light, a lot of white. It just calms me. So I have to have it. It was just, the other one was a little bit too much. So I redid it. And what I did was, I did this technique that my friend Christine did a few months ago, KLB stamping on YouTube. I'll try to remember to link it, where she would print out the printable and then take her insert and put it where she wanted it on the printable and mask it, and then run it through the printer again, and it prints on your insert. And I had to try it this month with this floral. I did it on several things, but this is what I wanted to show you on the, I didn't have to add a whole lot. You know, I'll eventually put like a March sticker here and finish filling this out. But I love how soft it came out. It just, like, wow. This monthly page, like, wow. One of my favorite things. And then I have my weekly, and the stickers this month. Oh, wow. I just love this month. So what I did here was the notepad. I used 2 pieces, put them back to back. Put a couple stickers on from the memory keeping sticker kit. Laminated it. Punched it, put some slits, and it's a cute little bookmark I can move around. Anyway, my last little thing I did was the vellum that came in the planner add-on kit, I believe. I made a pocket like I did the other vellum, but I cut it sideways, and this card is actually from the printables along with the flowers. I fussy cut them, added some stickles, you know, the gold leaves again, and I love it. It sticks out a little bit, but I don't mind, you know. It doesn't bother me. You could put an extra little thing back here, I guess, if you want a little tab. But I really like it. So this is the last dashboard hack where I was like, I love it. And this one was kind of a no-brainer. I trimmed this off because I like to keep the scraps, like I said. And then I just fussy cut around the scallops and trimmed it so it wouldn't catch up on my rings or anything. And I love it. I love how it turned out. It's just simple. You could put something on the back if you want, but because I use it in the back and the way it lays with I love the way I can see the little scallops. You know, you can see the little scallops. And it's fine to me. It's simple, but it's just simple. I like it. So anyway, I think that is all I have for you on this video. And I thank you for watching, and I hope I helped you with some tips and hacks. And if you have any questions or whatever, ask me below and I'll answer. And appreciate you watching.